In the past year, 21 bicyclists were killed in motor vehicle crashes here in Pennsylvania, and another 1,100 more were injured. May is National Bike Month. Throughout the month, there have been many events aimed at educating drivers and riders alike about bicycle safety. This event, Ride of Silence, got its start in Texas 16 years ago and has grown every year since. The national initiative pays tribute to cyclists killed on the road, with riders placing candles by white bikes which represent each of the cyclists who died that year. Unfortunately, as the popularity of the sport grows, so do the number of fatalities. Bicyclists make up the faster growing group dying on roads in the U.S. And here to talk more about these accidents is TJ Sabatino from Georgelis Injury Law Firm. Thank you for joining us, TJ.
Thank you for having me.
How big of a problem is this for us in our area?
I would say that anytime you're talking about an increase in accidents, especially those involving fatalities, is a huge problem for our area. You have a lot of commercial and residential development in this area, so you're having a lot more traffic volume, which doesn't bode well for bicyclists on the road. Our firm handles bicycle cases, countless numbers of cases that we've had, ranging from minor injuries to a more serious case we're dealing with right now, unfortunately involving a death. So it's a huge problem.
Now, we all know distractions are becoming more prominent on the road, especially with texting. How does that play into effect with this?
I would say the major, if not close to the major cause of accidents across the state is distracted driving, and in that category would be texting and phone use. So you have a lot of younger drivers, maybe inexperienced drivers that are, how they are now, they're tied to their phones, and what they don't realize is it just takes a second to take your eyes off a road before an accident occurs.
Absolutely, it really does just take a second. And how do police determine who's at fault here?
So fault is fact-based, depending on how the accident occurs, the investigation process that happens, but I think the most important thing is for bicyclists, basically using common sense, right? Don't put yourself in a situation that is dangerous. So wear a helmet, wear reflective gear, bright clothes, stay on the correct side of the road, and obey traffic signals like you were a vehicle. So I think, yeah, stay safe would be the advice.
And what are some of the steps that people should take when this does happen?
Yeah, so if you're unfortunately involved in an accident, whether it's a car accident, a bicycle accident, or maybe a workers' compensation claim, the first thing you want to do is call 911. You want to make sure that someone comes out to take a look at you to make sure that you're physically okay. You want to be very careful at the scene of the accident to not admit fault. Don't, communicate to the limited extent you have to the other driver involved. Anything you say at that time, especially to an EMT tech or another driver, could get documented and used against you later. Also, you want to preserve evidence where you can, identify witnesses, keep track of all the information, assume that other people aren't going to do that, and make sure you're the custodian of all the information involved in the accident. And the most important thing, I think, is to contact an attorney right away.
Absolutely. And now we know distraction or distracted drivers is probably one of the main causes of this, but what are some other instances where this occurs?
Yeah, so for bicyclists, there are a lot of things I think are outside of the bicyclist's control. Things like uneven roads, potholes, things like that, distracted drivers, obviously. So you just have to be conscious of your surroundings, and if you are unfortunately involved in an accident, reach out to us as soon as you can.
And I know potholes are really bad in Pennsylvania. Do you guys see a lot of those cases too?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
They cause. I think the saddest part about a bicycle accident is you're not protected like you are in a car in a big metal box. If you're lucky enough or smart enough to be wearing a helmet, that might be your only protection.
And as the weather gets warmer, more bicyclists are out on the road, so it's definitely something you got to keep your eye out there for.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. Well, all right. So if you are hurt in an accident on the road or just on the job, call Georgelis first at 1-800-HURT-NOW. They'll come to your home, your hospital bed, or the accident scene 24/7 to answer your questions, and free consultations.
Always.
Great. We'll have more information on our website, fox43.com. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you right back here for more Fox 43 Morning News after the break.